we have a prime example in Solomon. And he did this very thing throughout his life. He pursued happiness. He pursued what would bring fulfillment. And at the end of the day, he realized that gaining more wouldn't do it. And he never got satisfaction from that. He wrote a whole book about this. Ecclesiastes is written about this pursuit of getting more to finally be fulfilled. And he realizes it doesn't work. He tried all kinds of things. He tried success. He tried gaining more. He tried pleasure. He tried relationships. He sought satisfaction in his life in all these different ways, but he never could get it. And so Solomon discusses this. In chapter 1, he pursues knowledge, education. And some people in the world right now, if I just get the next degree, I'm going to be satisfied with that, or I want to have all the knowledge and that'll bring me the success I want. In chapter 2, Solomon pursued pleasure. Let me just exercise all my desires and get everything that I want and everything I can enjoy, and that'll bring me happiness, and then I'll be satisfied. In chapter 3, he pursues work. So let me live a life that's productive. That he built buildings, he oversaw people, he directed big projects, and so he thought, well, if I produce really well, if I'm successful in my job, well, then maybe I'll have satisfaction in the end. Chapter 5, he pursues health, he pursues possessions. Chapter 6, he pursues wealth. Like, let me be wealthy and have all this money and all these things, and then of course I'll feel this sense of fulfillment and satisfaction. But it doesn't come. Chapter 7, he pursues character, reputation. Let me pursue things that are moral, that are right, that are good. Let me be righteous. He thought that would make him feel better about himself. Let me do good things and build a good reputation, and that'll bring me satisfaction. You realize that failed as well. Solomon just looked at that all the way through the book of Ecclesiastes, and it is so relevant. People pursue things like knowledge today. They pursue pleasure. They pursue their desires, their achievements, their work, their possessions, their wealth. All those things we struggle with today. If I just have this, or I just achieve this, or all those things. Solomon, even in chapter 8, he pursues justice versus injustice, and he realizes that in the end falls apart as well. And don't we see that in our society right now, where the pursuit of justice is kind of falling apart?
No, you're not saying that pursuing justice is a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing. It's not ultimate fulfillment. Because as he learned, well, we want justice. Sometimes this world is unjust. And so if we tie our hope up in justice, it's going to fall apart on us. And ultimately, God's the one that brings justice. Our world will fail on that, unfortunately. But we should pursue it. It's just a matter of, is that where our hope lies? Not mine, where I'd be pretty despondent today. So Solomon had that same thing, and he just pursued all these different things, and in the end they fall apart. And so Solomon in Ecclesiastes, he evaluates pleasure in music and relationships. He evaluates wealth. He evaluates power, sexual pleasure, being rich, even being poor. And he tries to figure out, where can I get fulfillment out of all of these things? They're the things this world pursues. They're supposed to bring us happiness. If we're happy, we should eventually feel satisfied and fulfilled, right? And he realizes that none of it will bring ultimate satisfaction. It all ends up being empty. And he describes it that way. I feel empty. I achieved this, but I feel empty. I have all this wealth, but I still feel empty. And sometimes you talk to highly successful and highly wealthy people, and they often feel empty unless they have a sense of purpose that goes beyond the wealth. And so Solomon began to began to dig deeper and to see that.